Discipline will save your life. Discipline is gonna save my life. Um, bro, without discipline, bro, you're nothing, especially as a man. I don't want to make it a man versus woman thing, but as a man, if you don't have discipline, you are double minded, and a double minded man is unstable in all his ways. Discipline is the highest form of self respect. Not only the highest form of self respect, but it's the highest form of freedom. The ability to tell your flesh no does wonders in the spiritual realm. The fact that you hear the cliche term like, oh, it's the journey, it's not about the destination, it's the journey. That's facts. They always say why, but they don't say how. Why is because, you want to trust the process. You're going to make it to your destination, fiend so bad to make it to that destination, and then look up and be like, man, I missed the process. That's the cliche part of it. That's the obvious part. But the how part is the way that you enjoy the journey is through prayer, supplication, obedience, and discipline. You have to stick to a routine that keeps you accountable. Accountability is the best key ingredient to discipline. Discipline without accountability is like your head being disconnected from your body while it's under the bed, and your body is just out walking around, roaming around. It's the same thing. You have to have accountability paired with discipline. You know, I had a problem with lust. Having that problem with lust, my automatic accountability, 200 push-ups on the spot. I can be in the middle of the street if I lusted. Not saying I've done this, but say I went to the bathroom, just get one off. Right in that bathroom, I'm doing it. You see what I'm saying? Anything like that. If I done something that I was supposed to, automatic 200. Just that accountability system, because I always told myself I would rather hold myself accountable than the Lord hold me accountable. Because when He holds you accountable, He not gonna physically hit you or spank you. No, He gonna spank you in the spirit to where you gotta sit down and just marinate until you take that accountability, until you be wise. So again, discipline is the highest form of self-respect. It's the highest form of freedom because you're able to tell your flesh no. If you're able to tell your flesh no, you're able to delay gratification. Delaying gratification is one of the highest forms of success. Delayed gratification is the highest form of profitability. Look at Jesus Christ, for example. He delayed his gratification. Growing up, he had years of concealment where he wasn't revealed yet. The years where he disappeared, his teenage years, up until him popping out into ministry at 30 years old. A lot of these guys in the Bible waited 20, 30 years to really experience their blessing, experience their freedom, experience the love that the Lord had for them on the other side of obedience. If the Lord can do that, what make you think He won't do it for you in a week, in a day? But you have to be committed. And part of that is enjoying the process, not the journey. You do not want to idolize. Sorry. Part of that is to enjoy the journey and the process. You don't want to idolize the destination. You don't want to idolize what you can gain. You don't want to idolize the fame. You don't want to commit idolatry on these things because you're making a false idol. It's like you're making a statue out of all these things and worshiping it and saying that they're better than God when He could take all that away in an instant. Discipline is the highest form of freedom. And once you secure that with a consistent plan, a consistent discipline schedule, start light. You don't need to stack days work into one day and then try to commit to that 5 days a week. You can just simply start with reading like 2 pages a day and start with 20 push-ups. The reason why I do 250 push-ups daily now, 6 days a week, 3 days off, is because I started with 25. I started with a number that I know that I can do, but it kept me in that humility stage. So then humility comes in, and you're working on humility. And then once I feel the Lord's peace within me, a wise man's eyes are in his head, a wise man's strength is in his belly. Okay? So once I felt the Lord's peace within my belly, then I moved it up to 50, then 75. No, I went from 50 straight to 100. Once I did that, then I started using a weighted vest and went back down to 25 and started doing Tyson push-ups. Then I went back, I kind of hurt myself, so I went right back to regular push-ups, and I started from 100 and worked my way up. This was a process over the course of a year or two, and I didn't realize it until making this video that I've been delaying my gratification for so long that now it's time to start tapping into the reserves. It's time to start tapping in to all the work that I put in and start congratulating myself, start cheering myself on, start healing that inner child within me that suffered, that was neglected, that was doubted, you know, and giving all the glory to Jesus Christ because he died on the cross for all of our sins. So again, with humility, discipline, and accountability, every and anything is possible through Christ who strengthens us. Shalom, my brothers. Keep y'all head up and keep grinding. I love y'all.